From a social and a societal perspective, it seems to me when you look at these bills and you look at what has happened in the past, that the California legislature, driven by the Democrat Party, is heading California to almost a Soylent Green kind of moment.
It's inescapable, Graham. And there's a couple of bills that now they've put off and put off during the last week of session, and they're bringing these to the floor. The very first one is SB 320, and it's likely that's coming to the floor. It would make every college and a university in California distribute RU46. RU46 is not a morning after pill. It's only taken when the mother knows she's pregnant. It can't be taken too early. She has to miss her second period. There's a baby there. It attacks the mom's body so that there's no nutrition that goes to the child in her womb. Then there's a second regimen that causes her to expel what's ever in her uterus.
Right.
It's grotesque. She finally gets to see that baby and everything else in her uterus. Women that have gone through this are deeply alarmed at having to do it, yet it'll be distributed to these young women at every college, university in California without parents' knowledge or consent.
That bill is bad enough, and I want to go to that in just a second. But first, I want to start with AB 282, which I think, speaking of Soylent Green, would make Charlton Heston nauseous. It essentially weaponizes assisted suicide, protects from prosecution those who encourage assisted suicide. To me, Brian, this is the dark underbelly of government health care. This is the nexus between government healthcare and these so-called death panels that everybody laughed about. This is the government promoting, hey, get out of the way so we don't have to pay for your health care.
That's exactly right. AB 282 ostensibly says we need extra protection for those doctors who are using medicine lethally. They need to be protected. But in fact, in Oregon, we use this Oregon language here. They didn't need a new bill to protect those doctors. What the bill says is that anyone who actually encourages, facilitates, or in any way even cajoles for suicide, any third party cannot be prosecuted. It is ironic. They restate that, every other form of suicide. You know, Graham, if you go to the top of a building here in California and I'm standing in a crowd watching you and I shout, "You should jump, chicken." Well, I've now created a felony.
Right.
To encourage suicide, they recognize that's a felony. That's a vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable person. You shouldn't encourage it. But they've carved out an exception if the person is sick.
But to the statists, the government, the politicians in Sacramento, all these older people or the sick is getting in the way and costing. They're another dollar on the ledger, if you will, for the federal government for the cradle to grave society that they want. But you mentioned initially SB 320. This is the RU 486 pill on campus. This would be government-sanctioned abortion, essentially by the state of California, as if they're not already sanctioning abortion. But this is the opposite end of the same culture of death spectrum that the Democrat Party wants to promote. Limit the population to control people's lives, not to mention the morals of all of it.
That's right. The reality is that what RU46 does, it actually expands. People think, well, okay, abortion's legal, choice is legal. Let's just leave it at that. It's just a debate. No, the goal, just as it has always been, with slavery. If you really saw what happened in the Civil War, there was a goal they took away the Missouri Compromise. They wanted free choice for the states. It was actually Senator Douglas who said, I'm against slavery, but when Kansas and Nebraska come in, I want them free to choose slavery. That went against the Missouri Compromise and how we had been limiting slavery. But he just wanted choice. What happens now with the abortion industry? They are expanding. This chemical abortion removes having to have a physician present. The mother herself becomes an agent in killing her child chemically. And now the government's going to pay for it to these young, vulnerable women. This is a grotesque expansion of intentionally killing the most vulnerable human beings we know. Hey, if these were canine abortions, everyone would recognize, well, you got to kill a little puppy for it to be a canine abortion. Abortion means somebody died. Something is dead. This is clearly intentional medical killing.
It is.
People need to understand
And it proves once
that.
again what I say on this program ad nauseum is that the modern Democrat Party is the party of murder, whether it is abortion or assisted suicide. They love murdering human beings. Brian, thank you for the good work.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.